Hello and welcome. Today, we are diving into a really tough but absolutely essential topic, how you can protect yourself when facing potential harassment. We're going to focus on two things that can make all the difference: evidence and action.
You know, it's the question nobody ever wants to have to ask. When a situation turns into one person's word against another's, how on earth do you prove what actually happened? That's the huge challenge we're going to break down right now.
So first up, we have to talk about what I'm calling the evidence challenge. This is really about a massive shift in how you think. It's about understanding that in these moments, having solid, documented proof, well, it isn't just a nice to have. It is your single most powerful tool.
The core message we're working with here is to stand out to protect yourselves. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be loud or confrontational. Not at all. It's about this incredible mental shift, going from feeling powerless to taking active, empowered steps for your own safety. And the strategy behind all this is so important to grasp. Your main goal isn't to win some argument in the heat of the moment. No, the real objective is to methodically, piece by piece, build a clear, factual, and totally undeniable record of what happened. You're creating a record that will do the talking for you down the line.
Okay, so how do you actually build that undeniable record? Well, that brings us right to the practical side of things, capturing concrete evidence.
The whole process kicks off with three things you need to do right away. First, write down every detail of an incident while it's still sharp in your memory. Second, save everything, every text, every email, every message. And third, think about who might have seen or heard what happened. These three steps together are what build your solid timeline.
And when you're documenting, being thorough is everything. Your checklist should have the basics: dates, times, locations. Try your best to write down the exact words that were used. Screenshots are non-negotiable. And here's one people often forget: write down your immediate emotional and physical reaction. This is so important because it helps show the impact of the behavior, which can be a huge part of a harassment claim. And of course, list out any witnesses. The more detail you have, the stronger your foundation becomes.
You know, in the world we live in today, almost all of us are walking around with an incredibly powerful documentation tool right in our pockets. And that brings us to our next section, using tech tools for your own protection.
And let's be clear, this doesn't have to be complicated or intimidating. When we say technological tools, we're really just talking about the everyday devices and apps you're already using. The trick is just learning how to use them smartly, discreetly and safely to create the records we've been talking about.
And the ways you can use them are simple, but really effective. Use a Notes app on your phone. A lot of them automatically add a timestamp, which is worth its weight in gold. If you get an inappropriate email, forward it to a separate private email address. That creates a backup copy. And one more thing, and this is crucial. You absolutely have to know the laws in your state or area, especially when it comes to audio recording. That knowledge is power.
Okay, so having evidence is one huge piece of the puzzle, but knowing how to actually use it effectively, that's the other. This brings us to why it's so important to understand a little bit about legal strategies.
And listen, you do not need to go get a law degree to do this. Just having a basic understanding of the legal side of things and your own company's policies, it gives you so much power. It lets you move from just reacting based on emotion to acting strategically with a plan.
This chart really shows the night and day difference between a strategic approach and, well, a panicked one. The effective steps: talking to an expert early on, keeping your evidence neat and organized. The common pitfalls: waiting too long, venting all over social media, or even deleting evidence because you're scared. Knowing these do's and don'ts can make or break your case.
So, we've covered how to document, how to use technology, and the importance of legal awareness. Now let's pull all of that together into what we can call your protection toolkit.
When you boil it all down, it really comes back to these three pillars. Number one, evidence. Be meticulous, do it immediately. 2, technology. Use the tools you already have, but use them wisely. And 3, legal awareness. Know the rules of the game. These three things all work together to create a really powerful strategy for protecting yourself.
Look, in the end, you hope you never, ever need to use this toolkit, but it's kind of like knowing CPR or having a first aid kit, right? The very act of being prepared is your strongest defense. It completely shifts the balance of power and puts you back in a position of control.
And that leaves us with one last question to think about, because this is really about more than just protecting yourself. How can this type of individual preparedness ripple outward and help create safer, more accountable environments for all of us? Thanks for tuning in.